Welcome everybody to the Icon Cup Series here live from Martinsville as we are getting ready to go 160 laps of racing here tonight. So here we are. These guys are getting gridded up a little bit earlier than what we expected here tonight, but nonetheless 160 laps here, 31 cars taken to the grid here. These guys are heading into the cockpits of these rides. And I think that the session might be wonder what's going on. We're going to toss it to a quick commercial break. welcome to the Icon Cup Series. And, well, while while yours truly went into freakout mode, and we'll peel back the curtain back here a little bit, want to welcome in Shane Cochran to the booth. Shane, how's it going?
It's doing great, man. Really excited to see what these guys can do in my neck of the woods. I live in Virginia. Been to Martinsville a few times. Love being there in person. Super excited to watch Icon battle it out there at the paperclip tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, a little bonus coverage tonight. We're going to do something that we rarely do, and that's cover qualifying for these guys. But nonetheless, I'm ready to rock and roll. I know you're ready to rock and roll. And, anything can happen. We're live here. And, the first session didn't have the right amount of laps, so they had to rebuild the session. Yours truly goes into panic mode, and it's the green start button, if you will. So we're going to get some bonus coverage and, talking to some of the guys pre-race. This is going to be a fun track. And Shane, I'm going to use one of my favorite phrases, which is bent sheet metal and hurt feelings is what we're going to have here tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. If you watched the Cup Series earlier today, or the Xfinity, or the Truck Series earlier this weekend, you know that this is absolutely a place full of hurt feelings, and I'm really excited to see what the Icon Series does here. A very professional group of drivers, but this is really going to test your patience, test your adrenaline, all together, your tire savings, everything here at Martinsville. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, right you are, as we're, here in the blimp. It's a half-mile length, one of the oldest tracks on the Cup Series circuit. The last race before the round of 4 in the real world, and one of the spring races. There's a train track that runs right behind the speedway here. And I just, it's very scenic here in Martinsville, Virginia. As these guys are getting ready to go qualifying, we're going to actually cover qualifying here tonight. Bring you some awesome onboards. Not taking away anything from Braxton Weiss, as he was able to pick up the victory last week. And, Jonathan Leach out there in northern Michigan, ice storm hits, and he goes to the bullpen, and here I come, just running. Like Forrest Gump.
I'm going to be really curious to check in with some of those guys, hear how the celebration went down at Jane's on Main. I wasn't able to make it, but I hope they had a good time.
Well, on track right now is that number 6 car of Nathan Finnegan here with the Icon Cup Series. And Nathan Finnegan out of Coventry, Rhode Island, the 2024 Icon Cup Series champion. And on his first lap, he's going to spin it out and hit the wall.
Have you ever been to Martinsville, Alan?
I have not. Look, the only time I ever get east of the Mississippi is whenever I go to Western Kentucky.
I've been there. I've had the hot dogs. They taste great. I will say that whatever food coloring they put in them probably should be outlawed. They're a very bright pink, almost like a nuclear radiation pink is how I would describe it. But they taste great. Had a few myself. Martinsville is a great track. If you haven't been in person, it's one of those tracks where almost no matter where you're sitting, you can see the entire track. I was blessed enough to be there. I believe it was 2010, either 2010 or 2009, when Denny Hamlin won with a ruptured ACL in his foot. There was a rain-delayed race. He was supposed to have his surgery to fix his ACL on Monday, but the race got delayed, so he had to push his surgery to Tuesday because the race got pushed to Monday. He still won it. Fireworks and incredible to see. And Martinsville, just one of my favorite tracks as a spectator.
Well, right now, as it says, as we were working our way through qualifying, Tate McDonald, the fastest guy on the racetrack, with a 19.35. I mean, he's hauling the mail, as we got just a handful of cars left. Waylon Turner, though, is on track right now at number 1 toward Dark Horse Mustang. And I want to go on board with Waylon Turner here. There we go. We go on the roof cam here. Out of Texas. I'm not even going to try it because I'm going to absolutely murder that one. But, you know, oh, we got a special delivery to the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio. We'll be right back. And we're back, Shane. We are back. Travis Gilbert right now, just finishing up with his qualifying lap out of Napoleon, Michigan. And right now, Tay McDonald is the time to beat. So if you want a shot at the pole, you got to do better than the 19.35. As we are watching Sean Purcell out of Rockford, Illinois, the PPE Truck Series champion, and that number 74 car. So far, Tay McDonald still holding down the fastest time of the night. Brock Hersey will time in 23rd, rather. Sean Purcell not happy with that qualifying lap, as he's going to time in 26th quickest. So Shane, you know, a lot of speed out of that 29 car tonight, out of Newton, Iowa. So
yeah, this is an interesting track where just because you can be fast for one lap doesn't mean you can be fast for a whole run. So it'll be really interesting to see who's got short run speed, who's got long run speed.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are finishing up qualifying here, we got, you know, a 5-minute qualifying session and then a 5-minute warm-up session. But we're going to do something here. Shane, we're going to go ahead and actually talk to our pole sitter here tonight. And that is Tay McDonald. Out of the, well, he's with the Gone Wrong guys. Tay McDonald, it's Alan and Shane up here in the SRM booth. You got a copy? Tay McDonald, you got a copy? He might not have his ears on. We're getting back down there and gone wrong. Maybe he's not used to being on the pole. But nonetheless, we got a 3-minute warm-up here as we're going to watch some of these drivers get around here. We're going to actually talk to a couple of different drivers here. I know one we can definitely get a hold of. Here, and we're gonna go ahead and talk to Travis Gilbert. Travis Gilbert, it's Alan and Shane up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing, Alan?
Hey, look, unlike your teammate, you're not camera shy. But, you know, Tay puts it on the pole, and I imagine you're not too far behind him on the starting grid. What's it going to be the secret sauce to get around this racetrack tonight and be there at the end of 240 laps?
Survival, absolute survival. Track temps hot, 94 degrees. congrats to Tay. He put down a heater there, running a 3.51. I about wrecked myself in qualifying, so it's still managed a 9. We have a fast car on the long run, so I don't think we're going to get many long runs. Hopefully we do. Hopefully drivers are patient, give each other a break, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be one for the ages here. It's funny because last year we saw you on ECR, and I bring up ECR because you didn't qualify for a number of races and no qualifying needed. Here you are, a small fish in a bigger pond. Take us through what it's like with running with these guys this season as compared to last season when you was running on Saturday nights.
So yeah, I would say that they're a couple levels higher. They got a big field, got a lot of good drivers in here. You make a mistake and you go from winning the race to finishing 40th in this league. So there's a lot of, like you said, coming over from ECR, big fish in a small pond, now small fish in a big pond, trying to make a name for ourselves with Racing for Freedom and just trying to put on a good show. Yeah, these guys it's fun. It definitely raises you to another level, and it tests your skills not only as a driver, but as a teammate also.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Travis, you last year, on Saturday nights you excelled on the short tracks. I look for you and Tay to be up there most of the night, battling hard and stayed out of trouble. Good luck to you tonight, and hopefully we talk to you on the other side.
Yeah, appreciate it, Alan. Thanks for bringing us up here, and hopefully there's a good show for everybody tonight.
Yes, sir. And that was Travis Gilbert out of the Gone Run Motorsports stable. And, Shane, last season, and I mentioned ECR, as we get ready to go grid up for the race here, Travis Gilbert caught a penalty. He dropped some colorful language in the broadcast booth during an interview last year. He did qualify for so many races, but here he is, just making it happen as we get ready to go. Get gridded up this time for real as we take 2. And here we go, getting ready to go over the starting lineup right now. So we get rid of this. Tay McDonald's going to put it on the pole there and Racing for Freedom. Brian Smith to his outside. Nathan Finnegan will start on the inside of row number 2, while Bentley Glazer will start 4th. Braxton DeWeese will roll off 5th, and he'll be flanked by Michael Taylor. Jacob Smith out of Buddy Motorsports will start 7th, and he'll be flanked by Charlie Widener. Travis Gilbert will start 9th, while Ryan Patty will start 10th. Jonathan Duncan will start 11th, while Kevin Gunther starts in that 12th position. A little bit further back in the field, 13th will be Patrick Colby, while Waylon Turner out of Great Lakes Racing will start 14th. Adam Ball will start 15th, while Kyle Gilbert will start 16th. 17th will go to Justin Bissonette, while Charles Woods will start 18th. 19th will go to Kyle Purcell, and rounding out your top 20 will be Zachary King. Shane, take us to the rest of the field.
Yeah, we got Chris Camburn in 21st. Ethan Van Colley for Great Lakes Racing in 22nd. Brock Hersey for Collar City Racing in 23rd. Michael Jennings also with Collar City Racing in 24th. Evan Patinko for Adrenaline Racing. Sean Purcell for Chicagoland Racing there in that 13th row. Steve Tuck with Dragonfly. Anthony Teseo with Great Lakes Racing. Robert Bluen also with Dragonfly. And Jeff Dillon with Dillon Motorsports. Round out your top 30. Starting positions, Kyle Diaz in 31 for Gone Wrong Racing. Cody Eldred there with CCR in 32nd.
Okay, and that's going to be your 32-car field here tonight. Carrying some onboards for us tonight will be your pole sitter, Tay McDonald. A little bit deeper in the field, the other driver out of Gone Wrong will be Travis Gilbert carrying an onboard there tonight. Ethan Van Colley in that number 85 car, he'll be carrying it on board. But here we are getting ready to go green flag racing here as the light's going to be out on the Iracing.com pace car. This time by Shade 240 laps of green flag racing as Barney's got the green flag, and there's only one thing left to do, and that's full to 5-part hardest. Grandma, grab a Martinsville hot dog and settle in, because race fans, it's showtime in Martinsville. Oh, we already got trouble. Brian Smith.
Yellow flag and apologies on the radio are flying here on lap 1.
Brian Smith from the outside. Here comes Nathan Finnegan. And oh. Wow.
Yeah, that's tough. You get put 3 wide and you don't know who you need to give that extra foot to, the inside or the outside, and just couldn't put 3 cars into a two car lane there.
Man, oh man, oh man, already. Tammy McDowell's going to be relegated to 3rd position. No harm, no foul.
Well, unless you're Brian Smith, you lost about 16 positions there.
You're not wrong there.
I don't think he is too happy with how that played out. That's going to bring Braxton DeWeese right up into 2nd place. 3 spots gained already. Just 1 lap.
Well, I tell you this right now, Shane. Braxton DeWeese comes in here, last week's winner, looking to carry that momentum into this week here. And then next week, we're in Darlington, man. So you want to carry that momentum into Darlington and start what's that off of bonkers off of Major League whenever the coach says that's 2 in a row, but if we win another one, it's a streak.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Homestead and Martinsville skills, translate, but here we are with Braxton in 2nd place, Nathan Finnegan up front. I mean, these are the heavy hitters, right? Brian Smith, Braxton DeWeese. That's what we're looking for here. But yeah, Smith really with an unlucky first lap. It sure looked like they were just trying to fit 3 cars into a 2-car spot to me. Hopefully guys aren't too upset about that. We got a long race here. You don't want to have your feelings hurt too much now and have that affect the rest of your race if you can help it.
Well, we're going to get lined up 2 by 2 Noah's Ark style behind that Iracing.com base car. It's that beautiful Chevy Silverado. Barney's got the green flag in hand. And Shane, it's time once again as the field comes to the Geico restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing here on lap number 5. Green, green, green as Barney waves the green flag.
Yeah, I think here at Martinsville, that inside lane is king. You want to get down there as soon as you can. It's better for the tires, better for speed, and better to get your bumper right up on that guy in front of you and nudge him out of the way.
Yeah, as we are high above Martinsville and the drone, we gave Shane Cochran the keys to the drone and told him to go fly it.
We're watching Bentley Glazer here behind Jacob Smith, doing his best in that Mountain Dew machine.
I mean,
5th.
I was gonna say that's one driver that really needs to be jacked up on Mountain Dew. Dan McDonald finds himself in the top 3 right now, and we got a car with got some trouble there. Ooh, Ryan Patty drives down to the inside, the extreme inside of the racetrack.
Looks like he's all right. Might have lost a position or 2 getting loose, but didn't hit anybody. Still going.
And so here's the thing too. Talking to some of these guys pre-race, they a lot of these guys struggle at tracks like this, but a lot of drivers tend to excel. As we take a look at our race information, these guys are green to green with an ambient temperature of 76 degrees, 39% relative humidity under a cloudy sky here, wind 7-mile-an-hour wind, and the track temperature is 98 degrees as we are underneath that caution flag once again. Justin Bissonette will take a ride here as we go to the replay. Gets a little loose, hits the curb, and
Ooh. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get on the inside of Kyle Gilbert and got down there and got maybe a little too generous with how much space he was giving Gilbert in front of him, and got down on the apron and the curb a little, and that just sends you sideways.
you're absolutely correct right now. Nathan Finnegan finds himself ahead here, leading here after 13 laps. Bentley Glazer down 1 spot, Jacob Smith up 3. Not a lot of movers and shakers. They're trying to get this thing single filed out so you can actually just log laps and not do anything egregious. But, you know, this is the thing about short track is things happen fast on the short track.
They do, and you know, if you get caught up in a caution or a spin like that, you've really got to get yourself corrected as fast as possible, because blink an eye and you're going to go a lap down. So far, everybody able to stay on the lead lap.
So far. Now, Shane, there's 2 things I watch at a short track, right? One is the front of the field. 2 is the back of the field. So if you're Justin Bissonette, you're going to want to start picking up spots in a hurry, because it's only going to be, it's not a matter of if the leader catches you, but it's a matter of when the leader catches you.
Yeah, at most tracks, you know, when the leader kind of comes around to the lap cars, you're going to give the leader the benefit of the doubt, give him a little space. Here at Martinsville, it hurts so much to lose that lap that you're going to fight him harder than anyone else on the track for that position.
Yeah, these guys get lined up 2 by 2. Noah Darksell once again. Braxton DeWeese is going to take the outside this time. Tay McDonald is going to take the inside of the second row behind Nathan Finnegan. These guys are going to get doubled up here. Bentley Glazer going to be flanked by Travis Gilbert. And Shane, we're going to do it all over again as Barney's got the green flag in hand. As there's the field. Finnegan DeWeese on the button, and we are back to green flag racing here at lap number 15.
Barney sure getting his workout tonight.
I mean, Barney doesn't get workman's comp for a bad shoulder.
I just want to see his biceps. You got to be huge by now.
Nathan Finnegan drives away, almost away from Braxton DeWeese. And it looks like Jacob Smith's going to get out of the sorts, almost open the door for Tay McDonald in that number 29 car. We are high up.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we're high above the track here.
I was just going to say the line you take here at Martinsville is a bit of a paradox. You know, I think the fastest line is actually to kind of diamond the corner, enter a little high, and then cut down on exit. The problem with that is that it opens your inside at turn entry for that guy behind you to sneak in. And so you kind of got to balance it. I think that's what we saw with Smith and McDonald there a few laps ago. As caution is out again.
This time it's Zachary King. Ethan Van Colley gonna win the race to the beer stand. Zachary King gonna get okay.
Maybe a little help there from the one car.
Definitely had some help from his friends.
Didn't look like too much damage though. Zachary King should be okay.
Well, here we are, lap 21 of 240. And, you know, here's what I like about short track racing, too, is, you know, the laps tend to go by quick. As the Chris DeWeese checking in, saying good evening, race fans. Let's go number 8. Dennis DeWeese cheering on Braxton. Cody Eldred. Good luck, everyone. We averaged 21 cautions here. Buckle up. Well, we're already on number 3. And we still have 2 guaranteed cautions.
Oh boy.
Don't forget about stage breaks. And Shane, when are our stage breaks?
Oh, I'm just taking a look at the race notes here. I was also taking a look at the fuel mileage, although these cautions are really throwing a wrench into my calculations. Our stages here tonight are going to be a lap 60 and 120. Again, we've got 6 total sets of tires. That's 5 additional with what you start with. We're up to 3 green-white checkers if we need them. And at this pace, it's looking like we are going to.
Well, it's definitely going to be a marathon. It's definitely going to be a marathon here tonight. And well, the iRacing.com pace truck dumps or dives off the pit road, giving the field to Nathan Finnegan and Braxton DeWeese. Shane, here we go again. Green flag is out. 3rd time's the charm.
Again, that inside line is just so dominant, especially when the leader is down there. It's easy to get a good jump.
And Kyle Purcell showing crash. Waylon Turner showing crash. We're going to stay green. We're going to put in some green flag laps here. Well, we got trouble. We got trouble. That'll be a yellow flag. Jonathan Duncan. And
yeah, looked like he got a little loose on his own and then had some help to finish it off.
I appreciate the follow through. Well, here we are, 27 laps in, and well, we are under caution number 4 here tonight.
Ooh, as Smith looked like he was going into pit road and decided not to at the last second.
Yeah, not a lot of room to make that choice. Shane, guess what got delivered to the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio here, just south of St. Louis?
Well, I'm going to start with a medium pepperoni pizza as my first guess, but I don't think that's it.
Close. Buffalo chicken pasta.
Oh!
Yes. It's a great recipe. You should try it. I'll send it to you.
All right.
Meanwhile, Shane, you get to bring us back to green.
Yeah, we got the pace truck pulling off onto pit road. Nathan Finnegan and Jacob Smith bringing us back to green one more time. And the green flag in the air. Finnegan again with that jump as the leader on the bottom line. Braxton DeWeese inside of Smith. Followed by Michael Taylor and Bentley Glazer. Smith able to drop down behind DeWeese. Like I said, I think that inside line is the way to the front, and you want to get down there as soon as you can. As Finnegan starts to gap those behind him once again.
Yeah, Braxton DeWeese currently running second chain. And, you know, so far, here he is. It's making, you know, buying his time, being real patient a little bit further back. There's Ryan Patty getting ready to battle Travis Gilbert for the top 5 spot there.
Very tight quarters here at Martinsville.
Now, normally on a mile and a half, you see these guys shifting from 4th to 5th. But here, Ryan Patty is shifting from 3rd to 4th. 4th to 3rd.
Yeah, if you don't like shifting, you're not going to like Martinsville. But you can use that downshift to really rotate the car, both under deceleration and acceleration. Can help get the car a little loose when you need it on entry, and then when you gas it up in that lower gear, it helps the car turn, stay out of the wall, and exit. However, that is going to use up your rear tires a little bit more. So we might see a mixture of folks in the field doing more shifting or less shifting. Short and long-term gains there in mind.
Yeah, you go back to the a football analogy. As Jacob Smith goes around.
Oh, no. He was running up in the top 3 all day so far.
And a lot of it on the sauce. Too much go-go juice.
Yeah, again, losing a ton of positions there, down to 22nd, able to stay on the lead lap. Meanwhile, Brian Smith, who was involved in that contact earlier, all the way up to 7th place now. Pretty good recovery on a handful of cautions here, able to make that back up.
Well, guess who's running top 3 right now? Michael Taylor. In the 08 car.
Yeah, got that great Buddy Motorsports Celsius Energy paint scheme. Looking sharp here at Martinsville.
Never had Celsius Energy.
Yeah, I know I've tried it. Feel like I'm more of a traditional Red Bull man myself, but when you need something to pick you up, nothing wrong with the Celsius.
Well, here we are, lap 38 out 240 scheduled to be ran here. Trying to get to lap 60 to get to the end of the stage. And so far, it's been all Nathan Finnegan all race long.
Yeah, I think most of us are familiar with the Martinsville hot dog. I want to ask you, Alan, of all sports venues, what's your favorite kind of signature food?
Okay, here's mine, right? You go to Fairbury, Illinois for the Prairie Dirt Classic, and you get the old dirt track favorite, the ribeye sandwich.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's amazing. But you get it in Fairbury, Illinois at the Prairie Dirt Classic. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than a little bit of dirt mixed in with your ribeye sandwich. We get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. Oh, we're under caution still. We're lined up 2x2. Let us know in the chat what's your favorite racetrack food or your favorite sporting event food. What do you like to get in the Midway? As we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, this time by DeWeese Finnegan through the Geico restart zone, and we're back to Green Flag Racing. Michael Taylor continues to run third. Here comes Ryan Patty looking to make a move underneath Travis Gilbert. Travis Gilbert hung out to dry like yesterday's laundry.
Michael Taylor looking under the 8 car of Deweese. Not quite going to clear him there, but he might get it done here. The next turn. Everybody at the front being very polite so far as Taylor takes P2.
And I think Ryan Patty there in that number 30 car, he's maybe thinking about a 2-for-1 special. Here we are working our way to lap number 60 for the first stage. Nathan Finnegan doing Nathan Finnegan things, driving away, and Chris Cadburn is going to go around. And just a little too much sauce, and around he goes.
Yeah, I feel like that's the 3rd or 4th car we've seen spin out just like that. I would expect a lot of, contact-driven accidents here at Martinsville. Was not expecting the single car spins like that.
No, and you're absolutely correct on that one. And right now, here at lap 44, we're inching closer and closer to the end of stage 1. Right now, your top 5 is Finnegan, Taylor, Deweese, Patty, and Gilbert. Travis Gilbert, Shane, runs really well on these short tracks, and he's proving it here in that vet to track number 22 car. And I forget the story behind the number 22 on the side of that race car, but it's a real fascinating story. And we might bring Travis Gilbert up here in the booth with us during the race, and we might get to ask him about the story behind that. I forget it, but he's told it to me.
You see the 15 car of Anthony Teseo is a lucky dog getting his lap back there.
Let us know who you're rooting for here in the YouTube.com live chat. We want to thank everybody for joining us. As we say every week, smash that like, subscribe, and share button. Get those bells ringing so that way you're notified every time Icon and Sim Racing Media come on the air. Nathan Finnegan will be restarting first. Want to give a shout out to the smooth operator Bobby Pierce, sweeping the weekend at Maquoketa Speedway in Maquoketa, Iowa, for the Nippy 50 in the Mars Championship Late Model Series. But here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Barney's got the yellow flag in his hand still. I think I'm a lap too soon, maybe? Okay, here we go.
I think Barney's playing tricks on you, maybe.
I think Barney's tripping.
He's the hardest working man in sim racing.
Well, we're back to green flag racing. Nathan Finnegan doing Nathan Finnegan things. Here comes Braxton DeWeese, and he's got Michael Taylor out behind him, trying the outside this time. And this time Ryan Patty's going to get hung out like yesterday's laundry.
There he is, the 78, right back up into the top 5. Still trying to get a little retribution here, or validation for himself after getting pushed out of the top 3 early on.
Well, I know one thing. Chris Luis is looking for another James on Main night here with Braxton Luis. Last week they took the party to the James on Main, and well, they had the celebratory ice cream going on, if you will.
Nathan Finnegan out front again. Basically, every time he's been out there, he's been able to gap second and third pretty healthily. You know, at first I would have thought maybe he was burning up those tires and going to hurt him on the long run, but here we are at lap 52, and he's still got the speed. Right on board with Braxton Deweese, following Nathan Finnegan.
There's
Yeah,
your
it doesn't look
eyeball
like.
though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like either of these drivers really getting all the way down to that inside curb.
Well, just as you say that, if you look at Braxton, it looks like he's got a better entry than Nathan, but Nathan's got a way better exit. Here it is, watch it again. Nathan's catching him, and Nathan's just better at getting back to the gap.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like Braxton's getting loose or anything. Just Finnegan able to pull away on exit, like you said. His caution is out again.
Ooh, EVC goes around. Ethan Van Collie goes around. I thought he won the race to the bear stand and stay corrected. There's the 85 car. Ethan Van Collie and gets. Oh no.
Yeah, we talked.
And,
Oh no.
Alexa.
We talked a little bit about how, you know, using your downshifting can help rotate the car, but brake bias is the other tool you can use to do that. And if you put a little too much into the front, or I'm sorry, a little too much into the rear tires, that's what it looked like happened there to me.
Well, Shane, we got 4 laps in the stage break.
I actually believe they are going to call that the stage. Listening to the driver radios there. Nathan Finnegan taking the stage win.
As we're going to figure out if these guys are going to go down pit road or not. We will talk to our stage 1 driver, or stage 1 winner in just a moment's time. I mean, 56 laps in, ran more caution laps than green flag laps. Right now, the pace truck's on the verge of leading the most laps. I don't think Nathan Finnegan is going to go down pit road. So, let's see if he peels off this time. Nope, let's have a quick chat with our stage 1 winner. Nathan Finnegan, it's Alan and Shane up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
Hey, look, man, once again, congratulations on winning stage number 1 as we are, getting close to getting lined up here. Take us through the stage and what's the strategy going to be going forward?
Yeah, I think similar to the IRL Cup race earlier today, just track position is going to be king. Typically how it goes here at Martinsville. This 6 Rick Chevy, it feels wonderful so far, so we're hopeful to get stage 2 and hopefully the checkered at the end of this thing.
All right, well, good luck, and we'll hopefully be talking to you on the other side.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And that was your stage 1 winner, Nathan Finnegan. Shane, we're getting ready to come back to green flag racing and start stage number 2. And the green flag is out and stage 2 is underway. The second verse, same as the first for Nathan Finnegan, gets off to a good start as we're working our way to lap 160 here.
I'm just, caution's out again. I was a little surprised we didn't see more people come down pit road on that last caution.
And, Waylon Turner gets loose. Or Tay McDonald gets loose, collects Waylon Turner and a host of others. Evan Patinko caught up in there.
Oof.
Oh boy. You hate to see that from your pole sitter who qualified very well in here tonight, and now he's on pit road. I wouldn't even say he's on pit road. He's definitely lost some positions, but definitely not on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like he's running 26th right now. But yeah, I was a little surprised I didn't see more people come down pit road on that last caution. By my math, I think we can go about 90 laps of green flag. We've had a ton of caution laps, so let's say that's closer to like 100, 110. But even with that, you're not going to make it all the way to the end of stage 2 with the gas you started on the race. So we'll see how that works out. It looks like everyone 16th on back stopped under that last caution. One or two other drivers stopped about 20 some laps ago. They should be able to make it to the end of stage 2, but everyone in the top 10 is, I don't think they can make it to the end of stage 2. They're going to have to pit at some point.
Yeah, here we are under the 8th caution for cause. 7, number 7 wins the stage break. And, well, let's put it this way. Barney will be entitled to compensation by the time this thing's over. I want to thank everybody for joining us here at YouTube.com live chat. Want to send well wishes out to Mr. Jonathan Leach as he is riding out an ice storm while most of the country is riding out some severe weather tonight. So, look, we're way less important than your safety. So if you hear the tornado sirens going off in your area, make sure you're in your safe space. Don't worry about us. You can always watch us back anytime on Sim Racing Media's YouTube page. Shane, here we go. Getting ready to come back to Green Flag Racing as that Iracing.com pace truck pulls off on the pit road. And it's going to be Finnegan and Taylor this time coming to the Geico restart zone. We are back to Green Flag Racing here from Martinsville. Braxton DeWeese taking over that second spot. And here comes Ryan Batty. He's looking for to get that second position away from Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he left the bottom lane open for Patty. He's going to get it in there. Almost clear him right here.
He does clear him. Ryan Patty gets by Braxton DeWeese, and he's looking for Nathan Finnegan a little bit further back. Kyle Diaz is here 2 by 2, doing it John Forrest style. 26 car Kyle Diaz, you know, who you get to see on Saturday nights.
Yes, sir. He was giving it to him last night at ECR. I don't think he had the finish he was looking for, but certainly running up front for a good portion.
And there's Jacob Smith in that number 4 car. He's looking underneath the 28 car Patrick Colby. And maybe thinking about 2 for 1 special if he can get up there and get past Bentley Glazer. And he's finally going to get Colby cleared. Charlie Widener, a couple WSRL guys battling it out here for that 6th position right now. Talking to these guys pre-race, and well, Bentley Glazer would love to have put a night together and be up front. He's one of those guys, Shane. If you tune in on Tuesday nights at 10:20 Eastern, he's one of those guys that will. There's something about him that he is the middle part of the race good, qualifying good, and then you really never hear from him after that.
Finnegan really gapping second place. Ryan Patty. Patty, of course, our Daytona winner, sitting 6th in points right now. And the nose on that 30 car looks like it's a little pushed in. He might have gotten in the back of somebody already today, but not hurting his speed, that's for sure. As we see the brake rotors really lining up here on the front of the 30 car.
Brakes.
One of my just looking great.
Driver out of Boston, Massachusetts. There's the eyeball top. And I think, Shane, we have started to settle down now.
Does feel a little bit calmer than earlier in the race. Like I said, I'm not sure the top 10 can make it on fuel. Maybe they can prove me wrong here. Maybe they've been saving more under caution than my calculator thinks they are. But
oh, there's that. As I say, there's that
ahead.
going brake rotor on Braxton DeWeese's car.
Yeah, all these cars at the front looking fairly secure as we see DeWeese get a little loose there on exit. Now Kyle Diaz looking to make a move on Bissonette. Looking down low. See Patrick Colby maybe locking up a tire a little bit of smoke coming out of that 28 car.
No need to rush things. You know, as we're starting to see these guys gap each other just a little bit. Just a couple drivers catching the wall there. We're gonna go ahead and Shane, we're gonna go ahead and step aside, take our first commercial break of the night. We're gonna go side by side, but you won't miss a thing here on Sam Racing Media. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway with the Icon Cup Series and Sim Racing Media, and we're through 88 laps, 89 laps to be exact, and well, it's been uneventful while we're away, somewhat.
Well, yeah, there was a quick caution there, and a handful of drivers coming down pit road. Nathan Finnegan now the only driver to not hit pit road. 90 laps on this tank and on these tires. He must think he can make it to the end of stage 2. I heard a couple other drivers over the radio questioning whether or not that's possible, but he seems to feel pretty good about it and still keeping great speed on those tires he started the race with.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's driven away to a 1 second lead over Jacob Smith in that number 4 car. As we now have another caution, that would be number 10. And let's see what happens to Charles Woods and Brock Hertzy. Here, Temper's
really flaring on the radio right now for the drivers.
Oh, no!
Really nothing Woods could do there as the 24 came down across the track.
Yeah, Shane, to your point, after this race, some Christmas card lists may be exponentially shorter.
Yeah, a lot of critique and constructive criticism flying over the radio on that last caution.
What about 4-letter adjectives?
I think these guys are still being fairly cordial with each other.
After 93 laps. Here.
Yeah, pretty calm at the front. It's really back around 15th, 20th or so. That's where the adrenaline's really getting pumped up.
Chris Delis checking in, saying that they have a severe thunderstorm coming through right now. So if Braxton blinks, we know why. So far, no blinkety blinky coming out of Braxton's car, so all good.
We got the 52 car of Jeff Dillon was the lucky dog, getting his lap back there, running in 24th position.
As here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio, we are free of any kind of severe weather of any sorts. Now as that's all pushed off to the east northeast. You know, Shane, it's funny, during the springtime, last year we called a 600 miler, and I did it during a tornado warning.
Couple new names here in the top 5. Jonathan Duncan in the 13, Justin Bissonette, the 06, getting up here on pit strategy. Like we said, eventually guys did have to stop, bringing a few fresh names here to the front. Also Kevin Gunther in the 31. See what they can do. See if anybody has anything for Nathan Finnegan as we go green one more time. Jacob Smith actually holding with him there on the outside.
Jacob Smith drag racing him down to turn number 3 and 4 onto the front straightaway.
He tried to hold him down low, but got in there a little too hard and rode up the track. Now he's going to try to come back to the inside of that bumper. Not going to get there. Smith falls back into P2, but still right on Finnegan's bumper. Jacob Smith there with about 40 lap fresher tires than Finnegan.
Jacob Smith going on the offensive here. I guess Nathan Finnegan are essentially getting ready to check out. As Nathan Finnegan has not caught the back of the field yet. And another yellow. And Chris Camburn catches. Oh no!
Oh,
There he goes. Now he goes around.
yeah. Like I said, I think a few of these guys have a little too much rear brake bias dialed in to help rotate the car, and if you have to slam on the brakes to check up, it just sends the car around. As we saw there, it's almost like when you get loose on the entry, even if you save it, your tires are still so hot that on exit, the car comes back around on you too.
Oh boy.
That's going to send Camburn back to 26th position, the last car on the lead lap. And if you're Finnegan here, this is 101 laps on that tank of fuel. Every time a caution comes out, I think that helps your chances to make it to the end of the stage. And if you're out front like that, hey, why would you come in?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something to the effect that every time a caution comes out, an angel gets his wings.
I think that's the wrong movie, Alan. Yeah, gotta give credit to these fans. They've been standing this whole race. No one's sitting down at all. They haven't even put their arms down. I'm really impressed.
You know, they say that they'll say the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge.
Oh, I love that one.
So you get ready to get lined up 2 by 2. Noah's Ark sub and at Iracing.com Chevy Silverado. Shane, I got a mission for you. Find out the most cautions here at Martinsville in any race.
In any race ever. Let's see
Yeah,
if we
real
can-
world, sim world, it doesn't matter. As the Iracing.com pace car peels off, and we are back to green flag racing. Nathan Finnegan continues to lead this thing. Jacob Smith running second. Travis Gilbert solidly in that third spot. Here comes Braxton DeWeese. Severe thunderstorm and all. Solidly in that fourth position. And here comes Ryan Patty battling hard on the outs. Well, thought about the outside.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that the 22 of Travis Gilbert was way back in the field, kind of getting caught up in some contact with one of those cautions, and here he is up in the top 3.
Braxton.
Good. All right, I've got the answer for you, Alan. It looks like 2011 in the Cup Series there were 18 cautions. That seems to be the highest I can find in real life race.
Well, we're approaching that one at an alarming rate. These guys are finally starting to figure it out. There's Bentley Glazer in that Mountain Dew number 87 Chevrolet. And then you got Jonathan Duncan there and that number 13. I believe that's the National Guard number 13. Painted up like Dale Jr.'s car.
Yeah, nice sharp paint scheme there for the 13.
A little bit deeper in the field, Robert Balloon in that number 99 car. He's got 99 problems in the front, ain't one.
Oof. That's You're hitting a guy while he's down there, Alan. I think, hey, when you're here at Martinsville, if you can stay on the lead lap, that's a victory in itself. You're just one good pit strategy away from coming back up to the top 5.
Here we are, 110 laps in. There's your pole sitter back here in 17th position, down 16 spots in the wrong direction here. As we are under caution.
47 goes around.
That would be Zachary King, and here's what happened. Gets on the gas, and around she goes.
Yeah, again, it feels like the 6th or 7th time we've seen a single car spin on exit.
And you were worried about entry.
I mean, we've seen it's been about 50-50. I think, like I said, I think if you're getting loose on entry, it's more of a brake bias issue. If you're getting loose on exit, that's just, you got to keep your right foot out of it just a little bit more. A couple of cars coming down pit road there. The 78 of Brian Smith, the 87 of Bentley Glazer are going to give up some track position and see if fresh tires can give him an advantage. Maybe trying to undercut the stage here. Stage coming at 120. Here we are at lap 113. You know Finnegan's going to pit at the end of the stage because he's yet to come down pit road.
He's going to have to. Don't see Finnegan making a hard right just yet.
And like I said, I think under green you can only get about 90 laps on a tank, but with all these cautions, Nathan Finnegan already stretched it to 113. We can expect him to take it to the end of the stage at 120. That's something to put in your notebook for the rest of the race, because if you pit at the end of this stage, it's 120 to the end. You might not need to stop again if you've got track position.
No, and you know that's the thing is Alan Bergen and Shane Cochran bring you all the action here tonight from the Icon Cup Series here on lap number 114. We are under caution number 12, so 6 away from the record. You think we break the record here tonight?
All right, while we're here under caution, I've got my trivia question for you, Alan.
Oh boy.
What is the fewest number of cars to finish a race at Martinsville?
Let's see. They started at 43. I'm going to say 20.
1951, just 4 cars were running at the end of the race.
Boy. Well, I tell you what, Nathan Finnegan and Jacob Smith going to have control of the field here. That's at iRacing.com pace car. Barney, you're going to need an orthopedic surgeon after this one. But right now, we're going to go green flag racing here as Nathan Finnegan is going to bring the field down. We're back to green flag racing.
Finnegan and Smith getting some space here from Gilbert and DeWeese. So Ryan Patty tries to choose who he's going to go with here, the 22 or the 8. I think he's got a little bit fresher tires than the folks in front of him. Finnegan going to go making old tires look good out front with clean air.
Here comes Travis Gilbert, though. He's working on the inside. He's got Braxton DeWeese hung out like like yesterday's laundry. Here he comes drag racing them down that back, their front stretch, if you will. Travis Gilbert trying to get clear of Braxton DeWeese. They're going to make contact.
Yeah, no harm, no foul, but sometimes it's about just kind of sending a little message there that,
oh,
I'm not too pleased with how you're racing me. Here's the door. Patty's going to get around the outside of Gilbert.
And here comes, I just said, Travis Gilbert looking for 2 for 1.
Oh, these guys, it's almost like they can't decide how they want to pass the guy in front of them. You jump to the outside, it feels great for about a half a turn, and then he pulls right back in front of you as Patty battles with the 22. Finnegan pulls it away as he comes back to the flag. That should be the stage.
And there it is. Taking stage number 2 here tonight. And that's going to be Nathan Finnegan. He's got a pit now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. There, Bentley Glazer, Evan Patinko, Sean Purcell, Robert Bloom, they all pitted just 7 laps ago. Could stay out here. Leapfrog right to the front. But you've also got a handful of cars that have only turned about 40 laps or so. They could stay out on a 1-pit strategy, as we see Smith's going to stay out. Well, just about everyone else coming down pit road, following Nathan Finnegan, our leader. This is really going to shake things up, as it looks like Glazer, a handful of other drivers are staying out like we expected. Smith, not one I would have expected. He is 86 laps into his run. He can make it on one more stop, but he might be trying to take a page out of Finnegan's playbook here and say, hey, old tires and low fuel is a way to keep the lead.
As we await Nathan Finnegan to get off pit road. There we go. And
looks like a couple different tire strategies there, as Michael Taylor snuck out ahead of Finnegan.
we're going to chat with Nathan Finnegan right now. Nathan Finnegan, it's Shane and Alan up in the SRM booth. You got a copy.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, look, man. You swept the stages.
Yeah, one more. We got two of two so far. Hopefully, we can get the third one and get a sweep of the weekend. So, see what we got for stage 3 here.
As we get ready to get you guys lined up, what's going to be the strategy? Is you're starting a little deeper in the field here this time around. What's going to be the strategy to get back up there to the front?
Yeah, I think just really being patient, picking and choosing our spots on when we're going to make moves, and really capitalizing on the runs off the corner. It'll be definitely different, like you said. Haven't had clean air, luckily, all race, so it'll be different being back here, and take our time, pick our spots, and just avoid the chaos. Ideally, just got to be around at the end.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this one.
Hey, appreciate it, guys.
Yep. And that was Nathan Finnegan out of the ECR camp. And Shane, we're getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here to start stage 3.
A whole new race now, as we've got Charles Widener, Patrick Colby, and Adam Ball in our top 4. Pit strategy leapfrogging these guys to the front. We'll see if they can hold on to it. Jeff Dillon in 6th, Sean Purcell in 7th, and Brian Smith in 8th.
Back
Smith.
I was going to say, back to Green Flag Racing.
Ooh, a couple cars scraping the wall. No problem. I think that adds a mile per hour or 2. Smith with a comfortable lead out front.
I was going to say, I just love that digger cam.
Definitely a throwback. I don't know when the last time NASCAR has used it, but definitely a statue in my childhood for sure. As the yellow flag comes out again.
This time
with the radio, maybe some net code.
Yep.
Ooh. Gilbert catching the apron, getting turned around. Again, not really any devastating damage to any cars there, but going to lose some track position.
You said it.
And I think, if I'm looking through the field, we've got Jacob Smith out front. He's 92 laps into this run. We know that, you can make it about 120 like Finnegan did there to get to the end of stage 2 with all these cautions, but he's still going to have to stop again. Charles Widener in 2nd. He's 46 laps into a run. He's going to have to stop again. Bentley Glazer, 17 laps into the run. He might be able to make it. you know, if we get enough cautions. But the car that seems to be in the catbird seat here is Braxton DeWeese in 5th place. He is only 7 laps into this stint, which means he can almost definitely make it with just a couple cautions between here and the checkered flag. Travis Gilbert, the next car on that strategy, or I'm sorry, Michael Taylor, actually the next car on that strategy in 8th, Travis Gilbert in 10th. Those are going to be the guys to watch. We've got Ryan Patty in 11th with all the fuel there. And then Finnegan, our stage 1 and stage 2 winner, he's all the way back in 13th.
And there we are, Jacob Smith doing Jacob Smith type things as we're getting ready to get doubled up here behind that iRacing.com pace car. And well, Charlie Widener out there in the front. Yeah, we haven't got to talk about him too much here. I don't want it to invoke the announcer's curse. A little bit of damage there to that Toyota Camry. Speaking of Braxton DeWeese, we're getting doubled up here. We're on that iRacing.com race car. We are on board with Braxton DeWeese here. We're going to go on board with Braxton DeWeese for this restart here. Now, Shane, I imagine that you've ran this track here this week on the official sides of racing.
I didn't run it this week, but I have in the past, and then in my league, you know, I would say this is pretty typical, heavy on the cautions. It's kind of hard to find that thin line between, you know, appropriate aggression to get you to the front and patience on a long race like this one. I think if you know, you kind of want to play it like Finnegan's played it, just stay out front, avoid all the wrecks, get that clean air. But I mean, like, he's back in 12th place now, so he's gonna have to make his way back to the front to be in contention here. A couple guys in front of him on the same pit strategy even, so he's gonna have to pass some people one way or another.
But here we go, back to Green Flag Racing. On board with Braxton DeWeese as they head down to turn number 1.
As Colby checks up just a little bit, that lets Glazer by on the outside. Race. Oh, just like that. Another caution.
I'd say we're 1 away from the record. Let's see what happened to Steven Tuck, and I bet you I know what it is.
Ooh, going 3 wide. They're kind of by surprise.
Because that always works. Chris Luis, how's that? Please tell me you guys are almost in the clear on that severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, sounds like Finnegan joking with Smith there that maybe he could make it to the end, but he's gonna have to go 205 laps on a single tank to make it from here. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean, it might. It could happen. Anything's possible.
Looks like Chris Camburn was the lucky dog. Gonna get one of his laps back there. 27 cars still on track. 24 of them on the lead lap. Driver radios getting a little salty, like we said. The feelings are getting hurt. Rivalries being formed here at Martinsville. All the way from the front to the back.
Chris Deweese says they are all good from their severe thunderstorm. Glad to hear that. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Jacob Smith, Charlie Widener on the front row, and Barney's gonna need a orthopedic surgeon after this race. And here we go, green flag racing.
Yeah, I think carpal tunnel be damned. Barney is doing the hard work up there. Smith out to the lead again. Oh, contact there between Glazer and Widener.
Well, we're going to stack them up. We're going to stack them all up. Braxton Deweese.
Ooh. Took a while for the caution to come out, but oh. Looks like the 95 and the 8 tagging bumpers, and then everybody trying to make their way through.
Oh, tough break for Braxton. Looks like the damage is minimal, though.
Yeah, just getting tagged by the 95. Who was already getting tagged by a couple other cars.
Shane, I know you're a road racing fan, but what track are you most excited to get to this season?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, I think like Martinsville, Bristol's always a great bumper banging track. Pocono, a great track for you know, pit strategy and just outright speed. But if I'm looking through the schedule, I'd have to say the one I'm most intrigued to see these icon drivers hit is going to be that Chicago street course. That's one I have not had the privilege of seeing a race on iRacing just yet, and have really enjoyed watching in real life. So I'll be excited to suit up for that. That's a 4th of July weekend there, July 6th.
And I know in the real world you're pretty close to Lime Rock Park, so I imagine in the real world that you'll be excited to get there.
Am I? I'm in, where's Lime Rock?
It's in Connecticut. I may be.
Well,
I may be
I'm not sure Connecticut and Virginia are all that close, but we should be in the same time zone at least.
Send me back to. So, what track in the real world are you excited to get to this season?
Oh, I'm in the real world. I live about 5 minutes from the Richmond Raceway, so I'm a season ticket holder. Gonna be there for sure in August. Handful of buddies and friends.
Oh boy.
And my daughter is 5, and I think it's about time to take her to her first race, so I'm thinking about taking her to the truck race there Friday night.
That'll be fun. Chris Deweese
Yeah,
says Darlington. Track 2 tough to tame, the Lady in Black. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Michael Taylor, Jacob Smith getting ready to bring the field back to green. And here we go.
Michael Taylor now on the outside. Looking to sink in there behind Smith. Ryan Patty back up into the top 3 on the outside of Adam Ball as Finnegan looks low. Caution again behind them somewhere.
Oh, no. Zachary King once again.
Yeah, Finnegan made it 3 wide there. I think he passed it maybe 2 cars in 1 turn. Oh. I'm not really sure what happened there. Just 2 guys kind of leaning on each other in the middle of the straightaway.
King's night went from bad to worse.
maybe the worst part of that is that King would have been the lucky dog to get one of his 2 laps back had he not been involved in the caution.
Tough break. But hey, nonetheless, Braxton DeWeese goes for a spin, and well, there he is, riding back there in 4th position, doing what he does best.
Now we saw him up front early, and then he kind of faded through some of those wrecks, and right back here at the front. Another guy having a great run is Sean Purcell, up 21 positions since the start of the race to be in the top 5 here with 94 to go.
Well, I'll tell you this to answer the question. As everybody here at Sim Racing Media knows, I'm a huge dirt track racing fan. So, you know, the dirt track season getting ready to start up here in St. Louis, and decided to get out to Federated Auto Parts Raceway I-55 for their season opener next Saturday night. And well, if you're out that way, come see me. Say hi. I'll be wrenching on a race car or taking photos. I haven't decided yet.
Ryan Batty now on that outside lane. Still got that nose pushed in, but it hasn't been slowing him down yet. As Finnegan also has his nose pushed in pretty good. Classic Martinsville look.
I was gonna say, if your car is still one piece and no dents in it, you ain't racing hard enough.
As Michael Taylor brings us back to green, he's going to slide up in front of Patty as soon as he can. Arc it into turn 1. Finnegan has raced his way back up into the top 3 now. Now everybody in the top, let's see, top 11 or so on that beneficial pit strategy. They should be able to make it to the end if they catch just a handful of cautions between now and the checkers. So every position you get here is a position that could go to the end.
And there he is, Travis Gilbert, right in behind Kevin Gunther in that 31 car.
And really a big breakaway there for the top 4. I wonder if there was a bit of a shakeup here around 5th and 6th place. Opened up a gap, but Michael Taylor holding his own in front of Patty, Finnegan, and DeWeese.
And this may be the secret sauce to start logging the laps. Travis Gilbert carrying that Delta track on board here today.
See, he's a good bit lower on exit than Purcell.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, shifting down to 3rd.
Really feathering that throttle on exit. Getting everything he can out of it as Yellow is out one more time.
Well, I think we broke the record here.
Absolutely.
And Shane may have to find this one for me.
Let's see what I can find.
Well, right now we can find Michael Taylor in the lead.
Looks like it was just a single car spin. Oh, Gilbert.
And there it is, Cal Gilbert. Get to bring you the replay there. Gets a little on the loud pedal a little too hard coming up the corner, and I don't understand why that was a caution.
Yeah, I feel like Iracing getting a little antsy with the yellow flag there.
Maybe Barney's just doing it so much that he wanted it's second nature to him.
He's going for the record, that's for sure. Pace truck back on pit lane. 82 laps to go. Michael Taylor and Ryan Patty bring us back to the green flag once again. Michael Taylor down on the inside. Finnegan behind him. Braxton DeWeese behind Patty. Patty going to give him what he can, but Finnegan able to get underneath of that 30 car. That bottom lane is king. So Patty probably looking to get down as soon as he can.
Ooh.
Hoping to stay in front of DeWeese. He's going to fight back on the outside of Finnegan, though. Now DeWeese is inside of the 30.
Hang on to her.
We got a little tire smoke there out of one of the leaders. Not sure who that was. Somebody locking them up, but they stay now single file as DeWeese gets into P3. Finnegan starts working on Michael Taylor.
Nathan Finnegan. Oh, Jonathan Duncan crashing. Well, there's caution number 19. A little bit loose and
Yeah, some contact from the 95. Oh, Travis Gilbert caught up in some contact late there.
just catch the piece.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there. It looked like the inside car was in there, but the maybe the 13 was trying to hold him down a little bit too much. Not sure. Either way, it didn't work out great for either of those guys with getting contact, maybe some damage, and then, like I said, 22 of Gilbert caught some heavy damage at the back end of that one.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a minute, step aside, let's go side by side. You almost staying here on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Icon Cup Series here. We left you under caution. We come back under caution. As we are under caution number 20 on the night here. I'm Alan Bergen alongside of me from just outside of Virginia. Or just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Shane Cochran. And we're getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing with Michael Taylor and Nathan Finnegan on the front row for this restart here, lap number 73. As we get ready to get that iRacing.com pace car off of the racetrack one more time.
Yeah, we saw Charles Woods get into Chris Camburn to bring out that caution under a commercial break. Come back to green one more time. The sun's starting to set here at Martinsville as Taylor and Nathan Finnegan lead them back into turn one. A little bit of a gap there. Just before the caution, we saw Braxton DeWeese lock up the front tires on entry and slide up the hill, letting Brian Smith get to his inside. Is now Smith up to P3.
And Nathan Finnegan running second. Brian Smith running third. Braxton DeWeese running fifth. But let's talk about Jeff Dillon there for a minute. And that number 52 car. He is up 25 spots from where he had started at and running in the top 5.
Yeah, able to use some pit strategy, avoid the cautions, and that's got him up into the top 5, running in front of Patrick Colby. Looking sharp in that, looks like a number 52 Washington Capitals paint scheme.
Oh boy. Yep, you're exactly right. The Washington Capitals. Driver out of Millersville, Maryland.
You can really see the different lines these guys are taking. You wouldn't think there'd be that many different ways to go through the corner at Martinsville, but see Michael Taylor running about a half lane higher than Brian Smith. Braxton DeWeese kind of finding his own way through as a yellow flag is out yet again. Jacob Smith there up to 7th, working his way back towards the top 5. To ride along with Adam Ball in the 19. Oh, 32 car really got into him. That would be Cody Eldred.
Well, here we are, lap 180 of 240. We're inching our way towards the end of this one.
While that was happening, Nathan Finnegan and Brian Smith got in front of Michael Taylor.
You know, here's the thing: is we're at lap 181, and well, the front of the field has changed yet again. I don't think we're quite to 30 yet. I don't think we can get. I hope we don't get to 30 caution. We're under this caution. Let's see. Michael Taylor loses the lead here, and here's a pass for the lead.
He's going to dive it down in there, lock up that rear wheel, left rear, ride up the track and let Finnegan and Smith by. And that's how Nathan Finnegan retook the lead here at Martinsville.
Well, Just as we get ready to come back to green, Nathan Finnegan, Brian Smith on the front row. Now these guys can definitely make it to the end.
Yeah, I think at this point, everyone on track, yeah, literally everyone on track should be able to make it to the end from here based on the fuel mileage we've seen so far. Maybe, you know, if we went straight green all the way from here, maybe Finnegan, DeWeese, and Taylor would have a question about it, but I doubt that's going to happen. We're green flag again, and Finnegan pulling away from Taylor and Smith. We've got a wreck already. Again, looks like that 52 car we were talking about not too long ago did not get going there on the restart and then gets pushed into the middle 3 wide.
Yeah.
Not what you want to have happen on a restart.
Maybe they're not Capitals fans.
Yeah, like I said, I think it looked like he either missed a shift or spun the rear tires. Just really didn't get going like everybody else.
Well, nonetheless, that's caution number 22. I think we broke the record.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Not by a little bit either, but by a lot.
Yeah, whatever the record was. Who knows what the record is in sim racing? We know it was 18 in the Cup Series. We are well past that now.
The point of no return. Lap 186 of 240. Nathan Finnegan finds himself up there in the front.
Got 25 cars still on track. 23 of those on the lead lap. We've got a whole mismatch of pit strategies and fuel runs here, but I think everyone can make it.
Well, right now, Nathan Finnegan is banging his head off the virtual steering wheel, saying, "Come on, guys!"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the first car that's really on what I would call a different strategy is Ryan Paddy is in 13th, a car we saw running up front for a good portion of this race. He came down pit road 16 laps ago, and that gives him a 50-lap advantage over most of our leaders, so he might be the only car kind of in a position to gain positions with his tires. But here at Martinsville, getting up through that traffic is going to be a big challenge. So the pace car dives down yet again below that yellow cone. Michael Taylor on the outside beside Nathan Finnegan. And the green flag is flying. Finnegan with a great start again as Smith tries to fill that hole on the bottom, not let Taylor down. Looks like he's going to do it as Michael Taylor probably going to try to sneak in down there behind Smith. As top three start to pull away from Patrick Colby and Braxton DeWeese behind them as Colby gets in front of DeWeese. Bentley Glazer, now one of the only cars on the outside line here in the top 10, battling with Jacob Smith. And there's a caution yet again. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like maybe the 19 just crowded the 98 a little bit.
Yikes.
Hearing some radio chatter drivers suggesting maybe we take Martinsville off the schedule altogether. I don't know about that, but we're sure having a load of cautions here.
I mean, you're gonna have that in short track racing.
It's just part of the fun, part of the experience.
I tell you what, I could probably use a Martinsville hot dog right about now.
Ooh, it does sound good, doesn't it?
The virtual fans, get out to the midway and get your virtual Martinsville hot dog. And well, we're under custom for the 23rd time.
Virtual Martinsville hot dog. That sounds like an NFT we could sell or something.
You know, this almost reminds me of the Mazda MX 5 rates that they had here. With the big one.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube it.
Yeah, look it up.
We don't have time for that.
Everybody getting lined up once again. Again, the names are familiar. Nathan Finnegan, Brian Smith going to be on the front row. Michael Taylor, Patrick Colby. And we've got Jacob Smith and Braxton DeWeese. And fourth row, Bentley Glazer, Evan Patinko. We haven't talked about him too much today, but he's up there in the top 10. Tay McDonald, your pole sitter, up in ninth. Charles Widener going to round out that top 10. As we come back to green.
We're almost there.
There we go.
And again, with the hold shot.
Yeah, Smith able to get down to that bottom line almost immediately in front of Michael Taylor.
We made it a lap.
We did. He's trying to do his best here. Smith is to catch Finnegan. Looking to the outside. Not going to find anything there.
Here comes Braxton DeWeese making a move.
Oh, Taylor throws the block, and it does not work out for him.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Both of those guys could have given a little more room to the other. Michael Taylor is certainly the one hurting the most about that.
And that's caution number 20. Shit, here's the thing. If this race was a Sesame Street episode, it would be sponsored by the color Y, or the letter Y for yellow. Yellow would be our favorite color right now.
Yeah, you know, we haven't talked about this yet, but there is a drive-through penalty, I believe, at 24 incident points, and some of these drivers have got to be getting close to that if they haven't hit it already.
I wish we could see that.
The 01 of Kyle Purcell. In 24th place will be the Lucky Dog, getting one of his 4 laps back that he is down. 23 cars still on the lead lap. 25 cars still on the track.
And there, Braxton DeWeese finds himself in that third position. Doing James on Main well, doing them guys proud there. Could you imagine last Sunday night the party that they had at James on Main?
Like I said, I wish we could have gotten there, but I don't think we would have made it in time.
No, they'd been clearing out by the time the plane landed. Shane, how many more laps to go we got?
40 to go here at Martinsville. That's 200 down, 40 to go. I'm hearing a lot of radio chatter. Drivers telling Finnegan exactly how he needs to hit a jump off the pit road here at the end of the race. I think these guys need to maybe get focused on the end of this race and see if they can keep Finnegan from winning this thing. As the green flag is back out, Brian Smith on the outside, really arcing it into the turn. DeWeese down low, gonna take P2.
Yeah, here comes Bryson DeWeese looking to get P2 and a little more as he goes to work on Nathan Finnegan. Nathan Finnegan going on defense right now. Bentley Glazer just a little bit further back, battling him pretty hard with Crescent, Iowa's Tay McDonald. Tay McDonald losing wholesale positions as he's going to lose. Wow, Tay McDonald drive all the way back there. Here comes Travis Gilbert on the inside of his teammate Tay McDonald.
Seeing a lot of smoke as this top 10 locking up tires, trying to get everything they can as Gilbert locks them up there. Out the front, Finnegan still leads DeWeese. When he's been out front, he really has looked untouchable. A little bit of smoke there. I think that was from a car getting on the pit road. Serve a penalty.
We made it through a couple laps so far.
And really, this top four are the names we've been talking about all night. Nathan Finnegan, Braxton DeWeese, Brian Smith, and Jacob Smith. Patrick Colby a little bit back behind them, but those four are the ones we've seen up front all night. As this field is, the leader is catching Ryan Patty. We mentioned he had some damage in one of those cautions, really losing some ground after having a pretty good early part of the race running up front with these leaders. He's going to go a lap down.
Good on Ryan Petty, get it out of the way there. Let these guys race it out. Here we are, lap number 208 of the 240 to scheduled to be ran here. As we were working our way to 30 laps to go. And these laps, now that they're single filed out, they're going to start going away fairly quickly.
They are on the move. As I was just going to say, one of the longest green flag runs we've seen all day, and there's the caution. Move right along with Adam Ball. Oof.
A lot of much sauce on that one.
Oh, the 10 car, really nowhere to go there. T-Bone's a 19.
That's a tough break.
Yeah, I do not envy whoever has to work through the penalty report this week. A lot of cautions to sort through.
Speaking of penalty, we're going to go ahead and step aside one more time. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing here on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back. With 19 to go, we leave you under caution and we come back, and guess what? We're under caution. Let's take a look at what happened to Jeff Dillon. Put too much of the sauce in, around you go.
Yeah, really a shame. We were having a good run there with Finnegan and Smith both really gapping the rest of the field.
If you're a driver like Braxton Luis, what is it going to take for you to pick up 3 spots here in the next 18 laps?
You know, it might take a bumper here at Martinsville. Yeah, let's see, we've got Finnegan, he's already got a win on the season. Smith, he's already got a win on the season. Deweese already got a win on the season. Or sorry, Finnegan does not have a win. He has 2 poles, not a win. But yeah, so I think Finnegan here is probably fighting the hardest and is going to be the hardest to pass. But if you're Deweese and Smith, yeah, I don't know what you've got. Or if you're Jacob Smith as well, looking for his first win of the season.
We're going to find that out here in 17 or 16 short laps.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you certainly don't want to require some sort of a bad blood incident to get yourself to the front here. I think if you're Deweese, you kind of really need Smith to get a phenomenal jump on this restart so that you have a shot to get down in front of Jacob in the 4 and give Finnegan something in these final 16 laps. But we've seen over and over again that inside line just gets such a good jump on the restart that you're kind of hopeless there on the outside, especially around that 4th and 6th position.
Well, here we go. The Iracing pace car lights are out. It's going to be Finnegan, Smith, Deweese, Colby, Glazer, Gilbert, Widener, Patinko, McDonald. Iracing pace car jumps off to the racetrack on the pit road. Barney's got the green flag in the air for the 27th time here. We're going back to green flag racing at Martinsville.
Another great start by Nathan Finnegan. Oh, and the caution is out almost immediately.
And
oh, Kevin Gunther, I believe it is, in the 31, just really gets loose on braking, and unfortunately the 98 is what he used as his brakes there, it looked like.
don't forget to tune in tomorrow to HTL. We'll have all the action of the HTL Cup Series, the SCL Cup Series, and on Tuesday night, the WSRL Series. We'll bring you all of the action here at 10:20 Eastern on Tuesday night with Sim Racing Media. And I tell you what, it's been fun.
Certainly no shortage of action here at Martinsville in the Icon Series. Nathan Finnegan just saying, hey, can we stay green and I can run away with this thing?
He would like to.
There goes Kyle Purcell with another lucky dog. I believe at one point in this race he was 8 laps down. He's just 1 lap down now. Still in the lucky dog position to get his lap back.
Nathan Finnegan, Jacob Smith. Ten laps to go. It's going to be a 10-lap shootout, Shane.
Like I said, it's really just going to depend on who can get a good restart here. We haven't really seen anybody keep great pace with Nathan Finnegan. I think maybe once or twice Jacob Smith was able to hang with him for a lap on the outside, but it's going to take more than that. Slow him down. Patrick Colby now up to 4th in the 28 car, ahead of Braxton DeWeese, Charlie Widener, Bentley Glazer, Travis Gilbert, Evan Patinko, and our pole sitter Tay McDonald as Finnegan takes him back to green. Brian Smith following him down low. Jacob Smith up the track just a little bit. That's going to let Brian Smith clear him into a P2. He's going to fight back on the outside there.
Oh.
Almost into the wall was the 4 car, but he's able to lift just in time as Braxton DeWeese looks underneath of him. 8 car looking for 3rd. We have 8 laps to go in this race here at Martinsville.
Make it 7. 7 laps to go. Here comes Jacob Smith. Thinking about going underneath Braxton DeWeese. Braxton DeWeese currently locked into that 3rd position. Nathan Finnegan currently locked into the lead. Travis Gilbert on pit road late. Braxton DeWeese got 6 laps to go. Does he have enough time? Ooh, and that's going to be the caution flag for the 28th time here tonight. And oh no. You know what that means?
Let's do it again.
I was gonna say green, white, checker.
With 4 laps to go. Yeah, I mean, it might be a green, white checker. Might just end under regulation here, but either way, we've got 4 laps to go in the race. And again, is that 6 car of Nathan Finnegan looking for his first win of this 2025 season. 2024 champion. Trying to bring it home. Has led most of the race today and looked really untouchable, to be honest, except when he had to pit and come back up through the field.
Car's getting their wave around. Getting ready to go under 2x2 behind that Iracing Dakar bait truck. Braxton DeWeese will have the inside 2nd row here, while Jacob Smith will have the outside 2nd row. Finnegan and Brian Smith will have the front row. Breaking news from 52 minutes ago. The number 43 Legacy Motorsports Toyota Camry disqualified. That's not going to matter here. What's going to matter is Nathan Finnegan and Brian Smith. On the button. Getting ready to be on the button, rather. Off of turn number 4. Through the all-important Geico restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing. 2 laps to go. I think we can do it.
Finnegan breaks away again, but DeWeese getting under Brian Smith fairly quickly. get to that P2 position.
Yellow. Oh, no. Stay green. Please stay green. White flag. It's not going to matter.
That Patrick Colby getting turned on the front stretch, but all comes down to the 6 and the 8.
Braxton's got to do something. Coming off of turn number 4, it's gonna be Braxton or Nathan Finnegan taking Martinsville. Braxton Luis will finish second. Brian Smith will finish third. Jacob Smith will finish fourth. Charlie Reidner will round out your top 5, and our pole sitter will finish 6th.
We've got cars spinning all around the track there on that final lap.
I never thought we'd get to the end.
They did. Yeah, we saw Patrick Colby go around there, right around the flag. Yeah, the 16 of Michael Jennings spinning there, coming to the line.
We're going to start getting these guys up to the broadcast booth. So we await the arrival of Braxton Luis, but nonetheless, Shane, you're going to have with you our race winner.
Nathan, you got Shane and Alan in the booth. How you doing?
Hey, I got you guys. Got a copy.
All right. We saw you just dominate today, leading 185 laps. I think the only time you were really out of the lead was when it was time to finally get fuel. You're able to stretch that fuel tank all the way to the end of stage 2. Tell us about it.
Now, the 6 Rhode Island College Chevy was definitely on rails today. Setup felt amazing and just right locked in the racetrack. The traffic was tough, that's for sure, but we were able to get our way back to the front, and that clean air was all we needed. Big shout out to the 8, Braxton, and 78 and Brian. They ran me really tight. Good solid race, good pressure on their parts, and big shout out to the CCR, ECR guys. Appreciate you guys doing what you guys do every week and covering our league, and shout out to my parents and my wife for tuning in and supporting us.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about those first 2 stages. We saw you just kind of staying out in front with the clean air and ahead of all the wrecks that are going on tonight, but you know, how close were you on fuel? My calculator was telling me 90 green flag laps was probably a fuel tank, but you were able to stretch it all the way to 120 with those cautions.
Yeah, I think we were pretty good on fuel. Once we got to about stage 1 or so, we had enough to. I think we were only like 5 to 8 laps short, and we, the way things were trending, it seemed like we were definitely going to get some more yellows, so it could take the gamble on just staying out and maintaining the track position, because it was so tough to pass anybody or make moves, because we'd have maybe 5-10 laps green and then you get a yellow again. So
yeah, we saw the front end of your car pushed in a little bit too, maybe having to use the bumper there or getting caught up in some cautions. How did you survive the carnage when you were back in traffic?
Yeah, I think patience was the biggest thing, and just watching. I think I mentioned this at the end of stage 2, just watching guys ahead and watching what their tendencies were and kind of picking your spots and being conscientious about when you're making a move. And I think everybody kind of started chomping at the bit and just started being overly aggressive, but I think we were able to avoid all the carnage.
But yeah, congrats again. Like I said, you led 185 laps. You had the fastest lap of the whole race as well. And what are you going to have for him next week at Darlington?
Really like the Lady in Black. Real driver's track. I love the long runs, so hopefully, unlike tonight where we had constant yellows, I don't think we'll have that issue next week. But really enjoy managing tires and seeing comers and goers naturally forming on runs. So really looking forward to that. Should be a blast.
Well, we're looking forward to it again congrats on bringing it home in victory lane here at Martinsville. We'll see you next week.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
And that was your race winner, Nathan Finnegan. Up next in the booth, the driver finishing second here tonight, Braxton DeWeese. Braxton gave it all you had, but came up just a little bit short. Maybe you had too much James on main last week, but nonetheless, good run here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Always nice to be running up front. Unfortunate between the contact between the 08 and I. Looked like just a little bit of me coming up and a little bit of him coming down and kind of just going for the same real estate. I didn't want to take fault for it because I wanted to see how it'd play out because we were up there in a good spot. If we didn't win last week, I probably would have called for it just to be safe. But hopefully that's just called a racing incident. At least I hope so. It looked like it in my opinion. But unfortunate for the 08 because he was running up there. We're going to have both the 08 and the 8 up there again 2 weeks in a row. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. But yeah, we had a pretty good run. Qualified 5th, which I was kind of happy with, at least starting on the inside line. And that 3 wide at the beginning of the race set us up to where we were in second. So, I felt pretty good. I felt better after we did a little bit of strategy, as in taking 2 tires and taking just a little bit of fuel. I felt like after the second stage, us just taking the 2 tires and the fuel there, I believe that's what we did, because I hadn't taken tires up to that point yet. So I took 2 tires and filled it up to as much as we could. And the car was rotating really nice, and made a little mistake, and then the guys that I passed with making the strategy call, they ended up passing me back. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to have to really fight for it and try to see if we can do something. But we're able to stay in the mix and come on P2.
All right, well, before we get you out of here, is there anybody else that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, most definitely. Like you said, Jane's on main. Luckily, we didn't have a little too much. I'm not much of a drinker, so we didn't have too much last week. But we were responsible, so that was good. But big shout out to Jane's on main. Glad to give him another good finish, a first and a second back weeks. As long as that stands, at least I hope it does. It was always good for points. We should gain some points on the leader here, if I'm not mistaken. Just a little bit, but a little bit's better than none. So big shout out to them, as well as Interstate Ford, Allen's Arts Images, 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop, Bennett's Public Oil, Jane's on Main, Dewey's Renovations, Drill and Captures, Route 34 Diecast, Short Track Report, Scrubbing Tires Media, Blaze Designs, Evan Pineda Designs, Chance 3 Design Shop, and Bullet Dog Coffee Company. You can use Brax 5 for 10% off over there. And look forward to going back and watching a little bit of green flag action. Martinsville could be a really fun and enjoying race if, we can get some green flag laps in. But, unfortunately, we couldn't get as much as I was hoping for tonight. It's just, unfortunately, it seems like that's just part of the course for iRacing. It's just difficult, I guess, to run close here. We were involved in an incident there. So, yeah, it's just tight close quarters racing, if I get that out right. And, just hopefully we can improve on it for later in the year, the rest of all of us, and hopefully we can all have an enjoyable race later in the year. But like I said, glad to come home P2.
All right, well, congratulations, and go celebrate with your team at Jane's on Main.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, Alan, Shane.
Yeah. And that was Braxton DeWeese. Last but certainly not least, here in the broadcast booth, Shane, you will have with you Brian Smith.
Brian, this is Shane and Alan in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How's it going?
Doing great. What a race here. Obviously a lot of cautions, but we saw you running up front pretty much all day and getting caught up in a little bit of a fender bender there early in the race. Talk us through that.
Yeah, it looks like I was just talking to Finnegan about it. I wasn't too pleased with how that went down. I gave a ton of room. It's lap 1. We got, 240 laps to go, and I felt like that was certainly avoidable. I didn't get any call out from the spotter on a 3 wide or anything, so I just felt like that was an avoidable situation. So I felt like I was, from the bat, just playing catch up. I had to try a different pit strategy, and short pit it, rolled around in the back, and tried to stay out at the start of the final stage. But enough guys stayed out to where it was still a mess. And just not a fan of racing at this track. This car track combo is just horrendous. Braking points are so, short that you don't have much room to check up, and then you just plow into someone. And yeah, just not a fun night. Don't like racing here, and that's about all I got to say about it.
Hey, for not enjoying the track car combo, you still beat 30 other drivers out there tonight. So definitely something to be proud of. We saw you running up front pretty much the whole race after you recovered from that early incident. So congrats on the podium, even if you didn't have all that much fun out there doing it. Who you want to send some shout outs to and thanks to?
Shout out to Finnegan. He was super fast tonight. I don't think I had anything for him probably, but I had damage from the get-go, so I didn't really get a chance to try out long run speed or anything. But for the most part, everyone up front raced really clean. I don't even know where all the yellows were happening from. I'm just gonna assume they were out in the back racing for last. But so thanks to everyone up front for racing respectfully, and thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. And hope it was a little more fun to watch than it was to drive in.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was about 50-50 contact cautions versus single car spins. Maybe guys getting on the gas a little too hard coming out of the turns or dialing too much rear brake bias in on entry. We were definitely expecting there to be kind of more contact cautions, but it's about 50-50 split. So everybody just pushing hard all the way through. Congrats again on the podium, and we'll see you next week at Darlington.
Yep, thanks, guys. See you.
All right, and that was Brian Smith. Good interviews all night. Shane, as we get ready to put this one to bed and head to Darlington, South Carolina. But before we go, there's one other piece of housekeeping we got to do, and that is to go over our final results here. Nathan Finnegan is going to park it in Victory Lane. Braxton DeWeese, still building on the momentum after picking up the win last week. He'll pick up second here tonight, and rounding out your podium will be Brian Smith. Jacob Smith will bring it home fourth. And rounding out your top five, we'll go to Charlie Widener. This is best finish of the year so far. Tate McDonald will bring it home sixth. Bentley Glazer will bring it home seventh. Eighth, up 17 spots, will go to Evan Patinko. Michael Taylor will bring it home ninth. Sean Purcell will bring it home 10th. And 11th will go to Kyle Diaz. Cody Eldred will bring it home 12th. 13th will go to Adam Ball. 14th will go to Robert Bloom. Steve Tuck will bring it home 15th, while Chris Camburn will bring it home 16th. Charles Woods will bring it home 17th, while Michael Jennings will round the top 18 finishers. Bringing it home 19th will be Travis Gilbert. 20th will go to Patrick Colby. 21st will go to Jonathan Duncan, while Kyle Purcell will bring it home 22nd. 23rd will go to We'll go to Ryan Adams, while 24th will go to Kevin Gunther. Jeff Dillon will bring it home 25th. 26th will go to Zachary King. Kyle Gilbert will bring it home 27th, while Justin Bissonette will bring it home 28th. 29th will go to Brock Hersey. Anthony Teseo will bring it home 30th. Wayne Taylor will bring it home 31st. And winning the race to the beer stand tonight will be Ethan Van Colley. Shane, we wrapped this one up here tonight from the wonderful town of Martinsville, West Virginia. And what a night it's been. Almost a 30 cautions. It's not quite there yet. Final thoughts before we sign off for the night.
Yeah, certainly more cautions than we expected, but hey, that's the paperclip. That's Martinsville. That's what it takes to get to the end. I think we saw the guys who could stay out front and keep it clean really benefited from that all race long. Finnegan and Smith doing that, and DeWeese as well. And a handful of other drivers getting caught up in cautions really drop back to the top 20 or so. So, I think kind of what we expected, not what we expected, maybe as many cautions, but an exciting race either way, and another great night for the Icon Cup Series.
Well, and as that's going to do it here from Martinsville. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight here on the SRM broadcast. But as each and every day as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.